What is good, guys and girls of YouTube? I'm Justin Omoi, and I'm here to help you guys and girls with your music, artistry, and such. Just like today, we're gonna talk about Drake's vocals for the most part, like 99% of his songs. Don't quote me on that. Drake's vocals is actually more mid-toned than the higher tone. He doesn't really have much of a higher clarity. It's more of the middle, raspy feel. The rah. Yeah, no man, you're not gonna tell. Like that kind of feel. So yeah, my only disclaimer is that I'm using a $300 mic and a 250 interface, while Noah, Shabib, and Drake, they use like $10,000+ worth of equipment. If I remember well, Noah and Drake started out using the Babyface little interface. It's a little rectangle, I don't know, analog kind of thing. It's $700, and Noah, that already beats this here. So yeah, either way, we'll still be able to get his effect, because anything's possible. Before I get into the computer, let me go ahead and say the distance between the mic and you should be at least touch the middle of your microphone and put your nose by the end piece of the palm where the wrist is. So yeah, that's your distance right there. I don't know how much like inches and stuff, so yeah. And my audio input gain is directly in the middle. If you're wondering, I use the Focusrite Scarlett 2i4 interface. So yeah, just directly in the middle. So yeah, with this we'll have a more captured tone. We have more tone, more the raspiness inside our voice coming out inside of the microphone. I need a one dance, got a Hennessy in my hands. Alright, without a further ado, let me go ahead and go into the computer and explain to you how these effects are applied. Yeah. Alright, guys and girls, we are in FL Studio. This is where I always use my stuff. The time is 11:26 a.m. Not that y'all care. But yes, time to talk about these effects and what I believe he does for the most part. So yes. First off, we got the compressor. Just like any other compressor, we're compressing the vocals so it doesn't, stay out of up and down distance. We keep it clean and we'll be able to mix it in nicely with other sounds. The threshold, I set it to be just about a little bit lower than half, just so it collects all these sounds, You don't know what you just started. Yeah, so for the most part, notice, it's capturing that most mid half. You see right here, the little that point, it just reaches there. That's a good trigger amount. Yeah, ratio, I always put it 2 to 2.0. The attack, I put a little bit, I just moved it up like 2.14 just to give it some little bit of time to smoothly attack, even though 2 is like not too much. Release, I kept it the same. Head, I didn't really, you don't gotta worry about that. Noise gate, I always do a little noise gate to cut out the sounds. So yeah, let me just raise it up a little bit. Yep, just barely, just enough for you to not hear any outside sounds, and then take the gain, drop it down. All right, that's it for the compressor, the first one. Next up, let's talk about auto-tune. If you don't have auto-tune, you don't have to worry about it really. You can always use G-Snap or FL Studio's Picture. So let me go ahead and just show you that. Replace. Right here. FL Studio Picture. You can use that as well. But for those who do have auto-tune or G-Snap or, any of the stuff, this is basically the settings. Just know the retune speed is not that much. It is like low. We're not trying to get that that weird, T-Pain. We're not getting that. We're just having enough so he could have his singing sound perfect. And yeah, F minor, that is just the key I found useful for like controller. That that's my preference. But any song that you make sure you set the scale according to your singing style, your key of singing in that project. Alter tenor, that is mainly Drake's kind of style. You know that I know. He goes all the way high. But yeah, that's mainly it for auto-tune. Again, if you use something like G-Snap or Picture, just know the retune speed is not that much. That's all you gotta know. So yeah. Next up, we're gonna talk about the EQ. This is subtracting the EQs, the sounds that we don't like. Basically, for you to understand this, listen. Yo, 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 you hear that annoying sound? Basically, I did that times 6 or 7. 6. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't like them. Just find your peak, reduce it. This will kill off any dumb, nasty harmonics you don't want in your sound. It makes that raspy feel. Yeah. The lower you are, the more you could reduce, but you don't have to be too harsh on it. All right. Especially with this over here, which is my next point. It's the um addition EQ, where basically adding sounds and of course reducing. I reduced this over here. I went to the 10, was that 102 hertz, 117 hertz, and reduce it. Just scroll up a little bit on my mouse, whatever. And yeah, because we don't want too much of that bass. We don't want it like this. We want enough so you could have that. I understand you're there, but we don't want too much to give it that where we're right inside of your face, we're in front of your face, just like this much, or this. Yeah, yeah, like controller. Yeah, we're all good there. And the mid, I just raised the 314 hertz up 54%, and the bandwidth of number 6, I think that's this one. Yeah, it's like 54%, just like that. I didn't really do too much with the high. I barely raised it up. Notice, like, barely. Just give it that feel. Of course, if you use a different microphone than the one I'm using, just know that the frequency responses are all different. So you'll have to keep that in mind and put it according to yours. All right. Sound good, Iser? Yeah, yeah. This gives more of a raspy-ish feel. I'm using setting A. B is also another one that sounds good. Might be too much, but A is my preferred feel, just to get more crisp. So yeah, like controller. Like that's the only lyric I know. Here's another one, the reverb. Now, this is something you have to keep in mind because there's a lot of tweaking here. We're not doing the bass reverb, we're doing more of a high reverb. So if you hear this, yep, yep. So it sounds like, what kind of describe it? Metal reflections rather than dark cave style. But yeah, the wet is at like 15, 12%, just low. The separation, not too much. We don't have to. You could always do this if you feel, but I put it right there. Decay is like point 0.6. Yeah, point 0.6 bop sex second. And yeah, bass in the middle, damp over here. Yup. So yeah, hopefully you hear that. It's just helps create that feel, that middle dampen, pushing out some of the highs at least. Like reduce cross, keep it over here. I put exact like 1150 1500 or whatever that number was, man. My dumb ass. Low cut, we going up high so we could get more of the higher sounds. High cut right there. The size is right here, just not too much. Diffusion, I put this all the way up so we don't have much of a bounce. Yow, yow, yow. So you hear more of that that kind of feel. Yeah, that's really it for the reverb. The drive we can put all the way up. Yep. Next, we got Spitfish. This is basically a de-esser. It is free. The link will be in the description below. Go ahead and check that out. And yeah, this is basically to reduce the sibilance that's in the sound. This is good for canceling annoying sounds. Make sure you set your stereo up as well so you have, not the monotone, because the reverb, gives some stereo image. Um, Lastly, I'll talk about the blood. But lastly, we have the fruity limiter. This is what we use to bring everything back up. And this is like the part that feels the most Drake-ish. We have a saturation that will give the tube amplification. Basically, it gives that emulated hardware compression feel to it. And yeah, this will give that rasp feel. Yeah. So yeah. One more thing, if you don't have much of a raspy voice, you can always use the blood overdrive, which is a what you call it, overdrive. It's like a type of distortion. It'll give you a little bit more of a raspy feel. Yeah, like controller. Dropped out of school, now we dumb rich. This sound like some 4301 shit. And I like to finish where you think you started. You just started. You don't know what you just started. Yeah, you've been on my mind lately. So yeah, it gives that little rasp. I didn't put it too much. Notice it's like little, like 1%. Yeah, 2% now. This is a very what's the word? Sensitive plugin to use. If you put it over, it'll give a different feel for your song. So notice I got that. Nah, we don't want too much. Let's say 2%. You can always raise it up if you wish to your liking, but just know the more you go, the more of that filterish feel you get. These are the settings here. I'm sure you see this by now. Yeah, so yes, this is basically Drake's style effect. All I wanna do is put my mind to this shit. Goddamn. All right, that is Drake's vocal effect style, mainly on all of his songs. It has that rasp mid-tone, high mid-tone. Doesn't have too much highs, so it's not as clear, crystal clear. Doesn't have lows that much because we want to focus more in the middle of the field, the middle sound. Go ahead and test this effect out with your stuff, your own things. If you use FL Studio 12.2.2 or something like that, I put the project in the description for you to download, as well as the presets if you don't use FL 12. Thumbs up the video if you like it. Subscribe if you want to stick along and watch more videos of your boy Justin Omoi. And with that being said, peace out. Noah, if you're watching this, hope you're feeling all good. Let me know what you think. Matter of fact, y'all people tweet to Noah, bro. Tweet this video to him. Be like, yo, is this guy accurate? I don't know. But yes, peace.